What's up? We are going to talk about bottle feeding piglets and 5 very important things that you should know when your piglet does not have access to mama's milk. We've been farming pigs for years now, and we've had a chance to work out a few kinks. Whether your piglet is orphaned, a rescue, or the runt of the litter, which is, I would say, most common, all of these principles are generally the same. First thing you should know is don't actually bottle feed. The way that the nipple on a standard bottle is designed is actually not what a piglet needs. It can be too much pressure, and it just doesn't work. A much better option is pan feeding. Just grab a cat bowl, a small Tupperware container, a cookie sheet, whatever, and pour the milk directly in there. Take the pig's snout and just gently touch it to the milk. As soon as it gets a taste for the milk, it's gonna be like, yo, bro, this is food, this is what I need, and it'll be happy. The second best option is syringe feeding. So if your piglet is too weak to actually drink from a pan on its own, then you can just gently open its mouth with your fingers and squeeze the milk back into its throat so that it's getting nourishment and it can actually grow and be healthy and make it through that critical stage. The second thing you should know is that the first week is super critical for this piglet. Mama pig produces what's called colostrum, and it's this super high nutrient, vitamin-packed milk that gives the pig a jump start to get through those first 24 hours. When you're dealing with a weak piglet, they generally need it 1 to 3 days to give it extra strength because it's just trying to catch up with the other pigs. Now, if you're in an emergency, you're not gonna have time to go on Amazon and order colostrum. So your best bet is hop on Facebook groups, call around. So I'm just like, I need colostrum. You got colostrum? Anybody
There
is a good chance that someone has colostrum. We had a piglet at one point where we couldn't get colostrum from the mama.
Tiny bit, let's try down below. We're not having much luck at all.
And we called everyone we knew and went on Facebook and found farms nearby, and we found someone that happened to have colostrum in the freezer that she would just collect whenever her pig gave birth. So that's how we got colostrum. If you're watching this in advance, I put a link in the description to something that works great. It's goat colostrum, goat milk. Anything goat tends to work as a really good substitute for most animals, and it especially works for pigs. Once you're past that really weak period, switch it over to goat milk. If you have access to mama's milk, great, use that, that's awesome. Usually we use goat milk or some kind of a general formula that's designed for piglets or general livestock. If you wanna know what we use, I'll link that in the description below. That's gonna be Piglet's food for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Again, this is a really critical week for piglets, so let's move on to point number 3, which is keep the piglet warm. We put our piglet in a little rubber bin with straw that they can bed down in, and then we attach a heat lamp to the outside of it to give them a solid, constant heat source. Even when the piglets are with mama and they're nursing, we have 2 heat lamps right above them so that they can move away from mama into like a protected area and just stay warm and cuddle up and cozy up together. If you're worried about the piglet getting too cold or too hot, what we do is we make sure the tub is big enough that the piglet can move away from the light or closer, because the piglet knows what it needs. Now, if it's too weak still to move, like in that critical stage, just put your hand under the heat lamp. If it's gonna burn your hand, it's probably too hot for piglet, and just move them further away. If you wanna know what kind of heat lamp we use, I put a link to that in the description as well. Now again, if we're dealing with a really, really weak piglet, like let's say you walked in on mama, she just gave birth, and you find the runt off in the corner shivering, right? That's a problem. We need to get that piglet's body temperature right back up. What we do in a situation like that is we'll literally take the piglet, we put a little cute diaper on it, so it's not gonna poop on you, and then put it inside of your shirt and directly on your chest and just let your body heat radiate into the piglet. You can even wrap a blanket over it as well to just keep that heat inside, and just hold it on your chest for an hour or whatever you feel like is necessary until it gets its body temp back up. It's one of the few times when a piglet is not squealing at you because, you know, it's a little too weak to squeal. So it can be kind of a tender and bonding moment between you and your pig. Number 4, do not go cold turkey from milk to feed. Around 5 weeks is usually when the piglets start transferring over to feed. So what we do is just introduce the feed as a separate bowl, and they can check it out. You know, you can put their nose up against it and let them see if they want to try it. Usually we'll mix milk or water with the feed to soften it up, but ultimately let the piglet decide when it's ready for real food. A lot of times, like when we got our full litter of piglets, they'll start eating out of mama's bowl. And so when they start doing that, you know for sure that they're ready for feed, right? But just give them time to adapt and adjust. But once they get a taste of it, once they get used to it, when that happens, you can pull the milk away and everything's great. Okay, and number 5, most important thing to know is do not lose mama's scent. If you pull the piglet out and then you just nurse it back to health, and then like 3 or 4 weeks later, you're like, okay, this guy's ready to go. Let's bring it back to mama and the litter. By that time, it will have lost all of the scent from the litter and from mama. And when you introduce that pig, they're gonna totally reject it. That will either mean it starves to death or it gets beat up by brothers and sisters or mom. We want to avoid this. So first thing, when the piglet is weaker and doesn't have the strength to interact with brothers and sisters, take one of the other piglets and put it with the struggling piglet in the straw bin, okay? You can pan feed them together. They'll get to interact. It gives him or her a buddy as well so that they don't get lonely and sad. Do that once or twice a day. That way mama's scent rubs off onto the struggling piglet. And then as it gets stronger, take the struggling piglet and put it in with its brothers and sisters. Let it interact, watch it, hang out with it. You wanna make sure that it's okay. And then take it over to mama, push the brothers and sisters aside without them squealing, and have it try and get milk from mama's nipple. Because ultimately your goal is to let this piglet be super independent, right? And so as soon as it's strong enough to drink milk from mama and hang out with brothers and sisters, you want to leave it with piglets and with mama. So we bring our piglets out at least once a day and just get a feel. We watch it and see how it's interacting. And as soon as we feel like it can handle itself, then we just leave it there full time. Taking care of piglets is probably my favorite part of being a pig farmer. They're just really cute and curious and fun. And every time we've had a runt that's been a lot of work to take care of to get up to full strength, it's been so worth it because months down the road, it grows, it's really strong. You get to see its personality come out more. And you're like, dude, that guy almost died, but they made it through. And so it's really, really rewarding to see a piglet through those really struggling stages and into full, we'll call pig adulthood. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. This has been fun. If you have other questions, shoot me a comment. In the meantime, if you can smash the like button and share it with your other piglet loving friends, that would be fabulous. And we'll see you guys later.